All right, thank you everybody for coming. Danielle, can you start the meeting?
Conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you. So tonight we have public hearings. First, before we get to that, we're going to rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a moment of silence, please, for those soldiers who lost their lives in the war with Iran in the past week. We honor their service and their family who give us the right to serve our country and our town. Thank you. Okay, so before we get into the public hearing, I have to table public hearing number 1 on local law of the town amending Chapter 118 sewer extension, and this is due to DEC last week got back to us and wanted even further changes. In order to do those changes, I don't want to get too deep into this. It might as well make the changes for. So we're going to table that until we come up with the proper wording and get the blessing from DEC before we go any further. And I need a motion to table the local law on Chapter 118 sewer extensions.
I'll make the motion to table the public hearing for the local law 118 on the sewer extension.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you so much. And so now we have the public hearing for March 9th, 2026, 7 p.m. Local law of the town of Marlborough, Ulster County, New York, amending Section 41-4, hours of inspection, Section 41-5, request for access, Section 41-8, fees, and Section 67-13, recording of the code of the town of Marlborough. Record keeping, I'm sorry. So we're going to have everybody come up one at a time, whoever wants to speak. There's 3 minutes. We have a timer. I just want to make sure everybody understands it's the beginning of the year, so I like to show everybody the rules. Public comments are what it means. It's public comments. It's not a question and answer session between the board. We're going to take your public comments. We take those all in, and then we discuss amongst ourselves if we're going to take any of those changes. A lot of times we do take changes because a lot of stuff that comes from the public we may have not thought about. So it's something that we really take seriously. So I'm going to start the public hearing, and once you come up and state your name, then I'll start the clock and we'll go on from there. So whoever wants to come up first. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Patricia Hadoui, H-A-I, D as in David, A-O-U-I, Town of Marlborough, to the Town Board. I am concerned and have questions about the proposed changes to the local law regarding access to public records. To begin with, I'm wondering why, all of a sudden, these amendments are needed. Are other municipalities and government agencies updating their policies in a similar fashion? No mention is made as to how these mandated written requests may be submitted. Will the public be required to mail such requests? Will email requests be accepted? And is the public also welcome to deliver written requests in person? I'm also curious to know in what manner the clerk will then respond to such requests, written and mailed correspondence, an email, etc. And if said response will include the information requested, or if those documents will then be made available to peruse in person at Town Hall, if so desired. While mention is made of fees in regard to reproducing public records, the section reading, "There shall be no fee charged for the inspection of records," has been stricken. Does that mean that the public will no longer be able to inspect such documents for themselves and will need to rely on materials that have been reproduced and at a fee? One would think that as technology improves, public access to information would also improve, not be diminished. These proposed changes seem to fly in the face of current initiatives calling for government entities to be more transparent and to make access to public records not only easier, but more affordable. I respectfully ask that in light of the negative impact these changes will have on the public's ability to access public records, you reconsider these proposed changes. I also ask that you keep the public hearing open so that any issues raised this evening can be fully considered by both the public and the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, who wants to come up? Come on up. Okay, who wants to come up? Come on up. Oh. Okay, who wants to come up? Come on up. Oh.
You got any letters yet from the public?
No, we don't read letters from the public. We put them in the public comments. They will be on our website.
Haven't I seen you
Be
read
on our
letters
website.
before? I feel like I've
You got
asked.
3 minutes, Adam. Go ahead, state your name.
Hold on. It's a public hearing. I just want to make sure I'm doing
State your name. I'm going to start the clock.
My name is
your
Adam
name. I'm gonna
Broza, and
start
before
the
you
clock.
start the clock, for matters of fairness, I just want to ask. because
Thank
I
you.
did submit letters.
Thank you.
So is it the town's position that letters submitted to the board don't get read ever? I just want to make sure. Don't get read ever? So that I know how to do this.
3 minutes.
Sorry. Before I start my time, I'd like to ask again, are letters from the public ever read during town board?
I'm going to pause the clock because you were late to the meeting. And as I said before I started the public comments, these are public comments. These are not a question and answer session. Any public comment that's submitted to the board and the clerk will be part of the record. It will be put online as part of the record. They will not be read tonight, okay? Thank you very much. The clock started. Thank you very much.
So just to be clear again, for those of us who were late like me by 5 minutes, it means that there are no question and answer components to any public hearings, so the public can ask questions, but when should the public expect answers?
It's not a question and answer session. Come on.
Understood. So I just want to be clear again, you don't have to answer, but I'm just going to keep asking. The general position is that there is no component for getting answers to the public in town board meetings or public hearings regarding laws like this? Okay. If anybody else can tell me, has the new law proposed been read into the record yet? Does anybody here know the language of the new law? Would somebody on the town board like to read out the existing law or the proposed law, just so we have it on the record? I see that it wasn't on the agenda, so.
The law was read at the last meeting when we introduced the local law.
Got it. So at this meeting, it hasn't been read yet? Got it.
No.
So at this meeting, it hasn't been read yet?
No.
It's a shame that we don't have the ability to get questions and answers in a public dialogue. I feel like this is a great opportunity. We're not a huge town for people to be able to ask questions. Sometimes it's going to be questions from people that the town board might not like, and sometimes it's going to be from their best friends. I'm a little concerned, not just about how this law has been shaped, but also the conversation that leads up into it. I had the ability to sort of get from the last meeting that you had the audio transcript, which again, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the audio has issues, so it's very hard to pick up everything you guys are saying. But in that, I was able to see that Supervisor Corcoran mentioned a few times that the rights under the existing law are not going to be changed. There's not going to be any change to the rights given to the public. It seems that this was done, I think Mr. Corcoran said, on the basis of the fact that a lot of people were apparently confused about the law, about how to use the law. I ask just because it doesn't seem like it's that confusing. It's legislation that's present in at least 163 municipalities in New York, just from my counting over the past few days. And not a single recorded case decision dispute anywhere suggests that any other town has had a challenge with the way the law is written or in interpreting it, except for Marlborough. And obviously, if Marlborough has an issue that's this big, it's that burdensome. I think it's important to establish that for the record so that other towns, again, who use the same model code can also avail themselves of that wisdom. Is that something that you'd like to address?
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Britlin Morg. So I just had a couple of comments about any changes to hours for inspection and to the fee section in particular. So the first thing I want to point out is under the New York state law that guarantees access to information, the default is that no agency regulations shall be more restrictive than that law provides. So hours for inspection under New York state law, the way that they outline it specifically is that any agency that has regular hours shall accept requests for public access to records and produce those records during all hours that they are regularly open for business. So the default is during normal business hours, we've got established business hours. So ideally, any law at the municipality level will reflect what the state law provides for. There can be a separate process, but that's really only for when an agency doesn't have regular business hours. Maybe it's a very small municipality that doesn't have regular operating hours, but that's the only exception to that provision. The next section that I just want to touch on is on the fees section. It gets a little tricky, but at a high level, you can charge for the cost of copying or photocopying 25 cents per page. The exceptions to that requirement that no fees other than photocopying be charged apply in a handful of circumstances, and it's typically when you're looking at complex reproductions of media outside of photocopying. So let's say you've got a burned disc, or gosh, I don't know how microfiche is reproduced. You make another microfiche baby. But those types of things, there's pretty strict requirements. A fee can be charged based on the copy or the cost of the media, and at minimum 2 hours of the lowest salaried person's work effort in providing that copy. So to the extent there are any contemplated flat fees or fees in excess of what's provided under the default state law, I would recommend that we revisit those to ensure that we're in compliance with state law. Those are the extent of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else got any public comments? Come on up. Come on up.
Thank you. My name is Mary Beth King. I am a resident of Milton, and I didn't write my comments down, but I have a few. One, I looked at Highland, and what I liked about their reference to this is they standardized the format in which you make your request. One was written, which you can download and print, and the other one was electronic, which I thought was a good idea. The second thing is, I'm not sure that the code specifically talked to or spoke to or was clear enough about electronic, to give the documents electronically. So I just want to ask you to look at that. The second thing is, or the third thing, if you're looking at the documents, you're coming in, I think during regular business hours is fine. But I would suggest to the town board that if somebody is that you standardize whether it needs to be in the code or whether you need to have an accompanying process, that you designate a location for where that review is done, and that it be attended to by someone within the town, that people are not just left somewhere to read the documents and, you know, who knows what could happen. So that would be another thing. And I could be wrong, but I thought there was also reference to a diskette, which is kind of outdated technology, so just to kind of, you know, clean that up a little bit. But I do support the notion that, what my understanding is that you're making these recommendations based on the fact that people were coming in and demanding immediate access to the documents. I don't think that's correct. I think there needs to be, you know, some structure around that. And there was one more thing which I can't remember right now. Oh, and how does this, the record keeping, that FOIA stuff is in a different, I think, Chapter 7. Like, how does that work together? It was odd to me to look and see that it was in two separate sections, but I didn't understand that. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else got any public comments on changes to section 41.4, 41-5, and 41-8? Nobody? Okay.
Can I say something about this?
Sure.
Is my microphone working?
Sure.
All right. We did have multiple times where people came to the town hall and demanded immediate access to records. Because in the code, it doesn't state when you can have access to the records. It did say requests for public access to records shall be accepted at the town clerk's office during regular business hours, and records produced during all hours at the clerk's office is regularly open for business. We had multiple issues with this last year, and what we're trying to do is clarify this. Because the people that work upstairs are public servants, and they have jobs to do. And they can't have people knocking on their door and expecting them to dig through piles of files to find certain records that you want immediately. That's not going to happen. So in order to clarify this law, which it needed to be clarified because it wasn't specified in both ways, and our lawyers stated that it needed to be clarified. So in order to protect everyone's freedom, we're not taking freedom away, we're just clarifying that this could take a little while. I would hope if someone has access to the records upstairs, and they know where a file is, and they know you can have it, I would hope that they would give it to you if they deem it necessary. But I looked at a couple other codes in the local towns around us, and first off, I'd like to say that our town clerk's office is one of the few that have the codes available on the homepage of the town. Some of these you got to search for quite a bit. So, transparency and accessibility. Thank you, Danielle and Stephanie and Colleen. Town of Poughkeepsie, Section 160-4, Hours of Public Inspection. The Records Access Officer shall accept requests for public access to records and shall produce records during any regular business day. However, this shall not be construed as requiring that a requester be given immediate access to public records. And then it goes on to say, all requests for records shall be in writing. That's Town of Poughkeepsie. Town of Wappinger. Such records shall be made available for public inspection on regular business days between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 noon, 1 to 3 p.m., if readily available. If not readily available, written requests specifically describing records to which access is desired shall be filed with the town officer charged with the custody and keeping thereof, who shall produce the same within 5 days of the request. That's the Town of Wappingers. Town of Lloyd, time of inspection. Such records shall be made available for public inspection on regular business days between the hours of 9 and 4:30, if readily available. If not readily available, a written request specifically describing the records to which access is desired shall be filed with the town officer or employee charged with the custody and keeping thereof. Town of Gardner. Request shall be accepted and records produced during all hours the town clerk's office is open for business. A written request is required. A response shall be given regarding any request reasonably describing the record or record sought within 5 business days. Town of Newburgh, a written request may be required, but oral request may be accepted. A response shall be given regarding any request reasonably describing the record or record sought within 5 business days of receipt of the request. This change to the code is nothing out of the ordinary, and I think it's a very good thing that we're doing, because some of these FOIL requests are bordering on harassment, so I think we should move forward. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Gail. I mean, again, this is public comment session. Anybody have any public comments? Come on up. Come on up.
Mickey Simonovsky, Marlborough, New York. I just have 2 comments. One is just to reiterate where you put in that there no fees for inspection has been eliminated. Does that also mean that people are not allowed to just go in and inspect and sit down without copying? So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. And the second thing is you cite in the new code public officers law. That pretty much clears up and says the same exact thing that you were saying. And I do believe it says in that part of public officers code that it can be an email, a digital request, as well as a written request. So in case that's a confused area for people, if I called the office and said, I want to look at this file, could I come and look at it and make an appointment? If that would be acceptable, I think that's clearing those types of things up. But I do appreciate that everybody is entitled to look at public records. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm going to follow up just off of what Gail said. It's always difficult when we change codes because people think we're trying to do something nefarious here or something like we're doing something to not allow the public access to records, or we're trying to deny them things. It's not the case whatsoever. We're just trying to get uniformity into the code and a clear understanding so that the clerk's office can have a set schedule of what she has to do. Like, when you come in and just demand something on demand, it's not as easy as it used to be back in the day. There's a lot of private information and attorney privilege information in some of these documents that we just cannot provide. Right off the bat, we have to have our attorneys look it over and redact things that may need to be redacted. I agree. What we refer to is to refer to public office law does pertain back to what was said by yourself of the things that you were mentioning. So it's in there, but maybe we have to be more clear of what that public law states, right? So we're just saying refer to public law 87.1B, 87.1C. You'd have to go and look that up, right? So maybe it's not as clear, but what you're asking for, it's actually in there, right? It's actually referring to what you're saying, what you're asking for. We do it because we're getting advice from our attorneys, so we know what it says, right? The public as a whole maybe doesn't realize what it says again, so maybe that's part of why people get nervous that they think we're changing something that we're not going to allow them public access. That's furthest from the truth. We just want to make sure that we give our clerk the time for her to able to get the documents from the department heads or wherever they need to get it, or need to be reviewed by our attorneys. And then sometimes when those things come in and they're so vast, some of the requests, it's almost impossible to get them done in 5 days. So sometimes we also have to send a letter to say we're going to need more time. So it's not as easy as just come in. And then also, and we probably should say that in here, when we say in writing, it could be in writing via email, it could be in writing in person, it could be in writing in a letter. We're just saying in writing. And of course, we're going to give documents back electronically when available. That way it doesn't cost any money, there's no fees involved with that. Look, in the last year, we know everything about FOIL requests, I can tell you that. I just want to say, you know, our clerk's office has been doing a tremendous job. It's a lot of work for them. I could tell you they're spending 70% of their day sometimes on FOIL requests, that's their job, and they're going to do it, and we're all going to do it. We're not denying anybody access to any public information, I can tell you that. We're going to give you everything we can, as quickly as we can, and professionally as we can, but within the law, and we're not going to make sure someone's private information gets put out to the public, because you wouldn't want your information put out to the public. If there's lawsuits or there's different things going on in our town, would you want the public to know everything about that? No, there's certain things that just cannot be given out to the public readily. Now, when we're saying readily available between business hours, we'll get the information in 5 days. If you don't want to get it electronically or you don't want it in person in hand, you could then come in and we could show you the documents through our regular business hours, if that's what you prefer. That's what we're saying in here. But we just can't say, here it is, right here and then, on demand. And we want to make sure it's clear in the code. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to make it clear in the code. So, and as Gail pointed out, we didn't just do this free willy. We do look at other towns' codes, and we do look at what they've done, and we pass that, and we ask our attorneys to say, based on what we've looked at, this is what we're kind of trying to want to do, and then they give us feedback, and they write a resolution based on that. And then this is why we get to this point. We have a public hearing. And now we get the public to give us their feedback and say, well, maybe that should be tweaked, or maybe this should be tweaked. And we look at that. My opinion is, and this is my just opinion, it's not my official as a town board member, I think a public hearing should be done before we write a code, so I don't have to waste the money on attorneys, to be honest with you, and engineers, because that's what we end up doing, because more than likely, we're going to have to make an update to make it more clear, and we're going to have them rewrite it, and we're going to have another public hearing. So that's just my opinion by doing this for so long. So again, I just want to assure everybody, we're trying to do this for everybody's sake here from my clerk's office, that we have uniformity in how we give out public access. We're going to give everybody the access that they need. We just need to have it in writing. We would ask the public if you could be more specific when you're asking for public records. Sometimes we get a request that says, you know, from 2023 to 2026, of every document almost that they're asking for. Well, that's not going to take 5 days, I could tell you. If you could be more specific to, like, I want a document based on X, Y, and Z, on these certain dates, that's easy. We could get it to you in 5 days, right? But when you're asking for swabs of information that are so vast and so complex, sometimes they take a little longer. And I could tell you, most of them have to go through our attorneys. As you know, I've said this many times up here, that's one thing I don't like to do, is spend money on attorneys for the taxpayers. They get $200 to $400 an hour. So every time a request comes into our office, I could tell you 90% of them are being sent to our attorney for review. That's costing all of us tax dollars, right? I could be spending those tax dollars, we as a town board could be spending those tax dollars on many things better for the public than having an attorney review documents. But that's public law. Public law states that you could come in and request any information from any department, and we're not going to deny you that. All we're asking is that we have it in writing and give the clerk the reasonable time to do so. That's all. That's all we're asking. So we're going to relook, we're going to take all your comments in, and if we have to revisit it, we will revisit it. Just like I tabled the first law, we're going to revisit that. That's what we do. So I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I need a second.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I need a second. I second it. All in favor? Aye. Aye. I hear no nays. So Public hearing is closed until we'll review all your comments. We'll take the public comments that we got via email. They will be part of the record. They will be posted online with all the other comments when the clerk puts her notes up. And we will look at if we're going to make any updates to this, okay? So now we're going to move on to our regular first meeting of the month. And I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I need authorization to pay the bills in $160,336.70.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $160,336.70.
I'll second.
There it is.
I'll second.
Okay, and before we do this, you know how I like to tell you what we're paying for here. Go ahead.
I'll make
yeah,
a
I'll get
motion
that.
to
I'll go
approve the
back to-
minutes
Yep.
from February 23rd.
Yep. I need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I apologize. Thank you. So authorization of the payment of bills, I'll just give you some updates on that $160,336.06. So our badger encoders, right, Charlie, from the water department was $47,594. These are just some things out of that number. Central Hudson, we pay a lot to Central Hudson, $17,311. We had to buy more salt, believe it or not. This is like going on, but we're going down. Now we're down to $11,865. And landfill monitoring and reporting and oversight as our geological engineering is $16,855. So those are just some of those things that are in the $160,336.70. So I need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
We made that motion already.
No, you already did.
Yes.
I needed a second, right? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Anybody got specific comments just on the agenda? Agenda only, anybody? Okay, reports of departments and boards, so everybody on the board got all our departments reports. Board reports, does anybody on the board have any comments or concerns about it? I see there's two department heads here. If you have any questions for them, anybody? I like to say again, the clerk's office, is doing a tremendous job. They did a great job of tax season. Stephanie's doing a great job as our new deputy. She's learning a lot real quick, so it's really good. And Chief's grants going through that we got, so that's moving forward. So there's a lot of good things our department heads are doing, and Charlie's been working hard with the water department, and he also does a lot with plowing during the snow season. So they do multiple jobs, and I'm always bugging him to do even more jobs, like today, going to the community center, right, Charlie? So I just want to thank our department heads for, number one, doing their job and exceptionally well, but also always giving me reports. They always get my reports back, and they always give the board an update of what they're doing, so we're informed. So they do a really good job with that. So thank you. Old or new business? Do we have any old or new business that the town board members would like to discuss? I have one that I don't really want to bring up, but I have to bring it up. And this is a sad one. Our budget officer is going to be retiring in June. So Chris Pulliam is like, I call her like my left hand, confident, your work wife, if you want to call it.
Don't say that.
But she's she's really, really important person to me as the budget officer. We work close together because we're doing all the finances. The supervisor and the budget officer work every day together to make sure that we're doing the right thing and paying our bills and making sure we're doing our audits and all the things that you need to do. So I first told her I wasn't accepting her letter, so she hasn't written one yet again. So she she's going to be retiring in June, and we're going to have to advertise for this position. So I need to ask the board to advertise for a budget officer position, and we need to get her in here. And just so everybody knows, Chris is going to stay after June part-time, and she's going to help train, if need be, the new employee, and she will also stay on part-time and answer any questions for probably up to a year, if need be, when there's questions that arise. So she's willing to do that. But I wish her well in everything she does with her retirement, and she's going to be truly missed, but I need a motion.
I will make a motion to advertise for a new budget officer.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. All right, correspondence.
Oh, Scott, before you go on to correspondence, just, I guess, a reminder that we have several events coming up for the rec committee.
Go ahead.
The first one is this Saturday, the 14th, and it is the St. Patrick's Day stroll that moves through all of the restaurants, starting in Milton. 3 o'clock, starts at Locust Grove in Milton, and then moves to Manisi's and then to Marlborough through the restaurants there. So that's open to the entire community, sponsored by the Recreation Committee, and we hope several people will come out and join and support our local restaurants. And then we have the Easter Egg Dash, which is the Saturday before Easter. It's Saturday, April 4th. That's going to be at the Hudson Valley Sports Dome. It's open to all children. And it's going to, the doors will open at 9 o'clock that morning. The dash will start at 9:30. And I think those are the two most pressing events that are coming up. So Easter Egg Dash, I mentioned this at the last meeting. The Recreation Committee does have a conflicting personal event that day, so we are missing several committee members. If there's any community members that would like to volunteer to help with that event, they can reach out to me directly. My information is on the town website. Similarly, any Honor Society students or anyone that needs community service hours are welcome to help at that event as well.
Thank you. Yeah. The rec committee got a lot of stuff going on. This is your busy season's coming up, so, yeah. That's the new thing with the stroll is, I think, going to be good. It's good for the local businesses, it's good for the community to get out, and again, the Easter hunt is a tradition, so the roll, I should say, Easter roll. So, if anybody's never seen one before, we got like 5,000 eggs out there, and I think they're done in like 2 minutes. So the kids are real quick. But thank you to the rec committee. Thanks, Sarah, for that. Thank you to the rec committee. All right, so correspondence. Old or new business?
No, I'm good.
You good? All right, this is from Faith Church of God. With the daughters of Sarah's are an economical, God, what is this? Sarah are an economical women's group with 501c3. Our motto is reaching out to understanding. We bring women together to educate and support them in any way we can. We focus on empowering women to be motivated to pursue their goals in life and women. In this, we are hoping that with this education and resources given to them, they can pursue a prosperous life. Every year, we do a one-day seminar with them. This year, we will be hosting the third Women's Tea Party. We're requesting to host our event at the train station on April 18th, 2026. Our women's tea will be open to all women in the community. We appreciate your support. And I assume she's asking to waive the fees. It doesn't specifically say that, but I'm assuming that's what she's asking. If you have any questions, please call me. And this is Ruth Fairclough, the founder of Faith Church of God. So they want to use the train station on April 18th. I mean, it's an awesome cause, right? And they are a 501c3. And I know they've done other stuff, and we've approved, so I just would need a motion to allow them to use the train station on April 18th.
I make a motion that we allow the Faith Church of God to use the train station and waive the fees.
I need a second.
I will second.
All in favor?
I will second.
Aye, so moved, thank you. Okay. So this is from the Marlborough PBA. Supervisor Corcoran and the members of the town board. The Marlborough Town PBA is requesting the use of the town community room on April 25th, 2026. We intend to use the room for a fundraising event to help continue with our ongoing community supports. Please feel free to contact me with any questions, and this is from Bruce Griffin. He's the PBA president. So the PBA is asking to use the community center for one of their fundraisers, and all their monies go back into the community, and especially around the Christmas time when they give out needy families free gifts, for their families. So I will make the motion to allow the PBA to use the community center on 4/25/2026, and I need a second.
Second.
I need a second. All in favor?
Second. Aye.
So moved. Thanks. Here's we hate when we have resignations on the board because we have really great employees. But this was to John, who John forwarded to me, and I wanted to read it because I really like Vinny a lot. I think he's a great employee. I think he's a tremendous loss to the town of Marlborough, but I'm writing formally to resign my position in the Marlborough Highway Department. My last day will be March 20th, 2026. My experience here in the Marlborough Highway Department has been a wonderful journey for me, but unfortunately it's time for me to move on and continue to grow in my professional career. Thank you for being someone to look up to in these past few years, and to know this decision was not decided overnight. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be part of the Marlborough Highway Department, and that's sincerely, Vincent Scazzafaro. So Vinny is going to be moving on. He's a very strong employee, so we wish him well. I did call him directly and asked him if he would reconsider, but we never want to hold anybody back, and we train him, and then someone else usually profits from us. But he's a great employee, and I just want to say thanks to Vinny for the years of service he gave our community, and you never know, someday he might come back. So thank you. Yeah, but I don't need a motion because he's just doing his own. All right, so that's all I got for correspondence. So public comments, this is the time of the meeting. Anybody can come up for any public comment. Same rules apply. It's 3 minutes, public comments, and you could come up, just state your name, and just talk about whatever you want. Come on up, Mickey. Come on up, Mickey.
Nikki Simonovsky, Marlborough, New York. I just want to say that I'm actually a little bit relieved that you needed to postpone the second public hearing, because the CAC had our meeting last week and we came up with a couple of suggestions, simple changes, but I think that they would be appreciated, and I will forward that on instead of reading it tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Mary Beth, it's coming on up. Anybody else? Mary Beth, it's coming on up.
So, again, Mary Beth King, Milton, and following up on the Citizens of the Year.
Yes.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that we're asking the board and all the people within the town to join us on March 22nd at 1 p.m. to congratulate Rosemary and Jerry Wine, the 2026 Town of Marlborough Citizens of the Year at the Milton Library. And I just want to say Rosemary and Jerry's contributions to the town of Marlborough are extensive and impressive. Rosemary has served the Sarah Hull Halleck Free Library in a variety of positions. She was a trustee from 2016 to 2019, president from 2019 to 2024, vice president 2024 till current. In each of these positions, she excelled in her role and made an impact on the Milton community. The Sarah Hull Halleck Free Library would not be what it is today without the energy, efforts, and wisdom of Rosemary Wine. So we invite you to come. It'll be just an hour from 1 to 2. We'll have some refreshments, and we hope you can make it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody should go. They're great people. They're great people. Rosemary was in today, and we were talking a bunch, so this type of person they are, they come in, you know, they give everybody on the town board a thank you letter for recognizing them. You know, it's, you know, they're just great people, so, you know, it's awesome, so. Anybody else have any other comments? Come on up. Anybody else have any other comments? Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie DeHaan. I live in town of Milton. I don't know if there's already a plan for this. I know last time I came, this is in regard to the charging station over at the park. Every time I drove by before that, I always would look at the lake and I'm like, wow, so beautiful, so beautiful. And then I heard, you know, I was sad when I saw them come up. I heard that part of the reason was a technicality. It couldn't go in because of the power. So I saw they had put up a bunch of those big yellow bollards to protect it from cars hitting them. My suggestion, and I don't know if it's something that's already planned, is maybe we can consider putting some like trees or bushes or some beautification to like block this eyesore and just, you know, we have to like, you know, move with the times. Obviously, we want to encourage people to go electric and support that, but I think there are ways that we can do that to kind of beautify that area and not make it so much of an eyesore. So my suggestion is just to consider that, and if that's already in the plans, that's great.
I would agree with you, and it's actually been talked about already, so
Okay.
yes.
Excellent.
So, yeah, look, I've been here basically my whole life. I love Round Pond, so, and Long Pond, but I agree. It's been talked about. So first I got to get Central Hudson to put the electric in, and then we could actually have real charging stations, but, so, that's another story. But we're still asking every week. Right, Mickey? Right, Mickey? We're asking every week, right, where they're going to come in, so.
There was guys there yesterday.
They were there yesterday. I don't know if they just ran a new line or what they did, but they didn't bring a transformer. And they didn't notify us again, as normal. So, but, hey, I'll take it. They showed up. Anybody else got any other public comments? Anybody? All right, then we're going to move on to resolutions. I appreciate it. Let's go back to here. Sheridan's going to take over the mouse.
You're going to make me read resolutions. I could do that, too.
You could do that probably better than me. All right. Where's my resolution for the 32, right? Okay. There it is. Resolution 32, to advertise for fuel items. Supervisor Clerk proposes the following. Resolve the town, authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following items. Item number 1, propane. Item number 2, heating fuel. Now therefore it be resolved, the town board authorizes the town clerk to place a legal notice in the official newspaper for the town requesting sealed bids on fuel items, that all bids must be accompanied by a signed non-collusive affidavit, and be further resolved that all the bids will be received by the office of the town clerk, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, 12547, until 2 p.m. on April 16, 2026, at which time they will be opened and read aloud, and moves for its adoption.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you. Resolution 33, to advertise for highway items. Supervisor Clerk proposes the following. Resolved that the town board authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following highway items. Item number 1, material hauling, 10-wheel dump truck per hour, tri-axle dump truck per hour, tri-axle dump trailer per hour, quad-axle trailer per hour. This bid is for hauling road material from designated locations to highway garage or to a location designated by highway superintendent within the town of Marlborough. Now therefore it be resolved that the town board authorize the town clerk to place legal notice in the official newspaper for the town requesting sealed bids on highway items, and that all bids must be accompanied by a signed non-collusive affidavit, and be further resolved that all bids will be received by the office of the town clerk, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, 12547 until 2 p.m. April 16, 2026, at which time they will be opened and read aloud. And I just want to clarify for the public, we ask for these because there are some times that the trucks that we have are not large enough to haul some of these materials. So in that case, we put it out to bid, and that way, once the bid is approved by the board, the highway superintendent could call that vendor and they could use them. But most of the time, we do it ourselves. But in case, we do this, so, and moves for its adoption.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Resolution 34 to amend the fee schedule. And this comes about again because this is a fee schedule and this is escrow accounts, and this was come about through the planning board and ZBA secretary, and their two chair people advised us that they wanted this changed. We thought it was reasonable, and so we are going to change it, and this goes to their fee schedule. So Supervisor Court proposes the following: whereas the town of Marlborough maintains a fee schedule that is approved at a yearly reorganizational meeting, and whereas the town of Marlborough Planning and Zoning Board requested a change to their escrow fees, and whereas the current fee schedule states planning and zoning escrows be replenished to 100% of original escrow deposits when levels drop to 25% remaining in the account. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Marlborough intends to amend the schedule as follows: planning and zoning escrow accounts to be replenished to 100% of original escrow deposit when levels drop to 50% remaining in the account. So we're going from 25%. So when you hit, it used to be when you hit 25%, so say you were at 2,000 and you dropped down to like 500, they would want you to replenish it, right? Now, if you had 2,000 and you dropped to 50% at 1,000, they want you to replenish it. And a lot of this is coming because the things we get back from our attorneys and engineers. Remember, when you go to a planning board, you have escrow. It pays for town engineers, town attorneys to review and give comments on your application. We've been getting a lot of bills for these fees that come in sometimes after the fact, and their escrow accounts have been depleted, and then we're trying to get those fees replenished, and people have not been responding and haven't been replenishing their fees. And what that does, it slows up the planning process, because now what happens if you don't replenish your escrow fees, you can't be put back on the planning or ZBA agenda, and that means you can't come back and get your project approved. We don't want that. We want the process to move as quickly and smoothly as possible, and to do so, unfortunately, we need escrow fees to be paid. So anyway, this came from the chair people and the ZBA and the planning board, and moves for its adoption.
Yes.
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 Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. All right, Resolution 35, to appoint a part-time dispatcher. Supervisor Court proposes the following: whereas the Town of Marlborough Police Department has an open position for a part-time police dispatcher, and where it is a recommendation of the Chief of Police to appoint Lawrence Lawless, to be resolved that Lawrence Lawless be appointed effective immediately, and moves for its adoption.
Councilmember Appler.
Yes.
Councilmember Sessa.
Yes.
Councilmember Zambito.
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran.
Yes, thank you. There you got another one, charity train. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so, item number 12, adjournment. Item number 12, adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn
I need a second.
7:52.
All in favor? Aye, so moved. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the patience and all your comments. Thank you so much. Have a good night. All your comments.